Hey everybody, my name is Bobby. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up around Mile High Church for you and your family. Expand your sense of belonging and deepen your connection to our Mile High community by becoming a member. We're offering an in-person class next Sunday, March 8th. We also offer an on-demand online version you can take anytime, like whenever. And Spring Flowers for Summer Lunches is on March 22nd and 29th. Support local Title I elementary schools by purchasing beautiful plants. Beautiful plants! All proceeds go toward providing nutritious lunches for children in need. Let's all make a difference together.
You know, when someone asks us what religion we grew up with, we're quick to talk about the religion of our cultural upbringing, our Christianity, our Judaism, our atheism. But the truth is, as we teach in our philosophy, our spirituality is informed by so much more than religion. For example, my upcoming class, The Great American Myths, where we'll be exploring the influence of The Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, and for people closer to my generation, The Princess Bride, and its influence not only on the American myth of freedom and the pursuit of happiness, but how these films and the context around them have shaped our own individual spiritual lives. It's a lighthearted class with some deep thoughts and some profound ideas to explore, but we're going to have a lot of fun together.
For more information about anything you've heard today, stop by the Event Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
Hey, Mile High Church fam. Say hi to Jesse Powers.
Hi. I'm so excited to wake up with y'all this morning. And feel free to get up and move and dance. I always love that. Here we go. I've been running up this road for far too long, doing just what I was told, trying to do no wrong, but it became quite evident that I would never get it right. So now I'm guided by the fire inside. I pledge allegiance to the light. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. I give to the light my soul to keep. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. Yeah, I've been up all night. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. I give to the light my soul to keep. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. Yeah, I've been up all night. You can turn off all the lights, I don't mind. See, me and darkness, we go way back. She's a friend of mine, and it's true, as you've been through the darkest night, you find it's the punchline to a cosmic joke, and there's no need to close your eyes. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. I give to the light my soul to keep. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. Yeah, I've been up all night. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. I give to the light my soul to keep. I'm awake, I won't go to sleep. Yeah, I've been up all night. Y'all give a hand to Rob Lowe on the keys. Everybody say, hey,
Hey,
it's time to wake up.
it's time to wake up.
Let's play.
Let's play.
We gotta move.
We gotta move.
Everybody say, hey,
Hey,
it's time to shake up.
time to shake up.
We got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Everybody say, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
It's time to wake up.
It's time to wake up.
Let's play.
Let's play.
We gotta move.
We gotta move.
Everybody say, hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
It's time to shake up.
time to shake up.
'Cause we got nothing to lose.
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 Nothing to lose. I'm awake. I won't go to keep I'm awake. I won't go to sleep, yeah, I've been up all night. I've been up all night. I've been up all night. I'm awake.
Yes! Woo! Thank you, Jesse Powers. I hope after that song you're awake. I'm awake. What energy. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mile High Church. Thank you for being here. Those of you, I know I almost fell down that stair, didn't I? Oh, well, I'm awake. Glad to have all of you who are here in the room with us. Welcome to those of you watching online. It is a joy to come together as community. I know we often need community, and this morning, as we wake up and hear what's going on in the world, the violent bombing of Iran, I know that can be so disturbing to us. I know for me, I believe in peace, and I am an avid prayer for peace. And indeed, I've joined one of our CSL communities to read the prayer for peace or prayer for our country that our founder Ernest Holmes wrote many years ago during World War II. And so every day at 3 o'clock, I've been reading that prayer. And I feel like when I wake up and hear news like what's going on now, I feel like, well, my prayers aren't being answered. My prayers not manifesting. It can be discouraging. And I know we all have gone through periods where we've been praying for something and it's discouraging. And I'm tempted to stop and say, well, then what good is prayer if it's not working? It's not working. Clearly, it's not working. But then I remember what our teaching teaches us about keep on keeping on, and realize that I got to stick to that plan. I got to stick to and keep having the faith. So I've decided now I'm going to do it at 9 and 3 every day. Yeah, so we're going to do it twice a day. And that's the invitation that we have, is to keep on keeping on, keep standing in peace and love and joy, no matter what the world is showing us. That's what we believe here. And indeed, that's part of why every week when we come together, we take time to read our vision and mission statement for an opportunity to remind us who we are as a community, no matter what's going on here. So please join me as we speak them aloud together. Let's begin with our vision. Oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Breathe that in, global enlightenment. And as we breathe that in together, we take time now to step into spiritual practice together. We're going to sing, we're going to experience some silence, and then Reverend Zamira will give us a beautiful prayer. Let's begin.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see
And so this morning we breathe, we release, we allow ourselves to gather fully in this present moment, in that secret place of the Most High, which is the very sanctuary of our heart. And what I know is that it's also that place where we feel, we touch, and we breathe into the divine within, feeling and knowing that there is one power, one presence, one God, one Spirit, and that is all there is. And so what I know this morning is that as we breathe into this sanctuary of the heart, we take refuge. We take refuge knowing that there is this power that is spirit, and that this essence of the divine is everywhere present within our world. And as we stand firmly on this path of recognition of this one presence this morning, we know that it is a path of deep peace. And as we breathe into that space of peace within, we can feel and know peace around us, peace in our world. And if there is a space of fear, of doubt, of uncertainty that is present this morning, we simply surrender and let that go, feeling and knowing that God is. And in the beingness, in the isness of God, we become radiant with the light, with this knowing. For as we know peace within, we can become emissaries for peace in our world, peace in our planet, peace in the multiverse. And so we release and surrender again and again, knowing that the very power of Spirit is all there is, so we let it be. Knowing that in our time together today, we gather in the light and we stand firmly on this path of divine grace, feeling and knowing that as we connect and know and tap into that oneness that is the truth of our being, we become that presence out in the world. And so what I know and give thanks for this morning is that Mile High Church and our time together is so blessed. For we are the very vibration, demonstration of deep peace in the world around us. I give thanks for this. And as with this deep thanksgiving, I release this prayer into that alchemy of love and law, and I feel and know that it is absolutely done, made manifest. And so I allow it to be, so that we all can affirm together. And so it is.
There in the center of my soul, I can feel it all around me, something holy and untold, but I hear it perfectly. Somehow, in the sweetness of now, I can see I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. Here and now, I can see I was made beautifully. I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. Beyond books and words and songs, at the gate of all my longing, leaving certainty behind, take one step and you come running. It's clear. Ooh, in the deepness of here, I can see I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. Here and now, I can see I was made beautifully. I was made in the image. I was made in the image of love. Love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Oh, love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Oh, love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. Here and now, I can see we were made perfectly. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love.
Our words of inspiration today come from Carolyn Mace. To love yourself, to truly love yourself, is to finally discover the essence of personal courage, self-respect, and integrity. These are the qualities of grace that come from a soul with stamina. And from Parker Palmer, wholeness does not mean perfection. It means embracing brokenness as an integral part of life. And from Brene Brown, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing that we'll ever do.
This song is a grand rising. We rise up in the morning.
These days I've been having trouble waking up. I'd rather stay asleep than try to believe in a higher love. I think I'm fooling everybody else. I say that I know that I'm loved, but I don't, 'cause I'm still punishing myself. You see, I've been holding it in, this brilliant light. They told me it was intimidating, so I've been keeping it inside. But when I woke up this morning, I realized that something this bright is destined to rise. So I gotta rise. I'm gonna rise up from my bed, get into my body and out of my head. I'm letting go of holding on to the notion that something's always wrong. I'm incredible, it's beautiful, this life that I live. So I'm gonna hold my head high like the queen that I am, living my life for the wonder that it is. These days I've been having trouble getting mine, 'cause I'm stuck still in a tiny bubble, just watching my life roll by. I get anxious, I'm afraid of everyone else, but to be honest, it just gets worse when I'm alone with my that it is. It ain't enough to just believe. Living life is a physical kind of spirituality. It ain't just in the movement of your mind, it's the movement of your feet. It's in the steps that you take. It's the body alive. It's the love that you make. It's the way that you rise. So I'm gonna rise up from my bed, get into my body and out of my head. I'm letting go of holding on to the notion that something is wrong. I'm gonna rise up from my bed, get into my body and out of my head. I'm letting go of holding on to the notion that something's always wrong. I'm incredible, it's beautiful, this life that I live. I'm incredible, it's beautiful, this life that I live. We're incredible, it's beautiful, this life that we live. So I'm gonna hold my head high like the queen that I am. Are you gonna hold your head high like the king or queen you are? Oh, I'm gonna hold my head high, hold my head high, hold my head high, hold my head high, hold my head high like the queen that I am, living my life with the wonder that it is.
Thanks, guys.
Jesse Powers, singer, songwriter, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you to our wonderful band. Bill Copper, it's great to have you here with us today. Thank you. And of course, Bijou and Mike, who's disappeared, and Rob, yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. What great music. Jeez, wow, she's so powerful. She writes all these songs too. Not only sings them, but writes them and makes the beautiful music, and I'm so thrilled and so grateful for her. And I want to continue a little bit of our conversation from last week. If you were here last week, we talked about oneness and this invitation to really deepen into our sense of connectedness to the oneness that is the true nature of us. And so we did living in and as oneness last week. And today we're going to talk about a quality that's very connected to that, wholeness, living in and as wholeness. Last week, I suggested that the core of this message would be, and indeed is, I think, the biggest addiction that humans have. Now, we're addicted to a lot of things, right? We could probably name them all sorts of things that we can get addicted to. But underneath those addictions, underneath those things that we point to that have to do with addiction or any other issues, I say that the biggest addiction of the human race is this belief that something's wrong with us, that we're broken, irretrievably broken. Many of us walk through our lives focused on and believing we're not normal, something's wrong with us, we're not like everybody else, we're not good enough, we're not lovable enough, we're not smart enough, whatever it is. But what happens for most of us is that somewhere along the line, that belief gets anchored in, and we live our life from that place. And it seems like we either, out of that addiction, are constantly trying to prove that it's not true, and so we maybe overperform to try to prove to people that we're not really broken, there's nothing really wrong with us, or we try to push it down and hide it, and we don't ever really resolve it. And so that's what I call spiritual bad breath. Because it's there and it kind of stinks its energy out of our presence, and we walk around with this like cloud before us, and people run because they can smell it on us, right? In some way, shape, or form. And the truth is that none of us are broken like that. None of us, not a single one of us. Not even the worst human being that you could imagine. Nope. That is not the truth of any of us. Well, it might be our human experience that sometimes we go through periods of brokenness. The truth that we believe in our teaching, and that we have been teaching for years, and that many faith traditions talk to us about in spiritual practices and mystics throughout the ages is that we are whole. There is a wholeness at the core of us, at the central energy of us. It's the essential nature of us is whole. It's perfect. It's God. It's the presence. It is the truth of us. And it becomes really not a matter of the argument for being broken or being whole, but it becomes really a matter of finding the balance in understanding that all human beings go through periods in their life where things happen, heartbreak and disappointment and pain and suffering and all of that. That is part of this human experience that we have here on earth. And I don't know a single human who's escaped it. I think we fantasize about it. We think that there's some unicorn out there who's had the perfect life. Everything's gone perfect for them. They're always healthy, they've never caught a cold, and nobody's ever rejected them, and they've always gotten everything they want. And we're just sure that they're out there. We've never met one single person like that, but we persist in believing they're out there and comparing ourselves to that perfect image, not realizing that the pathway of human life is filled with human experiences and also the deepening of wholeness that is the truth of us. So let's talk about wholeness as we define it in this teaching. I know we've all had seasons where we felt like we weren't whole, that we were broken, grief-stricken, loss, pain, all those things. But those moments in and of themselves don't tell the truth about us at all. Many people who teach about wholeness or teach these spiritual principles use an example that I really like and I've used a lot myself. On a day that is cloudy or a time when there's a storm, a snowstorm would be kind of nice, actually, right? If you're watching from somewhere other than Colorado, we don't have any rain or someone said rain. You'd prefer rain, but rain or snow, something with some wet stuff coming out of the sky would be great. But what we don't do when that happens is we don't all walk around deeply, profoundly depressed that the sun has died. Oh my gosh, I can't see the sun, it must be gone. We know better. We're smart enough to understand that the storm shall pass, that the clouds do come through. A storm comes through, and then days later, it's gone, and you can see the sun. You always know. We always know. We don't even have to practice having faith that the sun will be there, because we just know it will be there. So the example holds true for us, too. The invitation to embrace our wholeness at a holistic level is to begin to proclaim and understand and even teach ourselves and talk ourselves through those moments when the storms appear, when things aren't going well, when they're not going the way we planned, or they just appear to even fall apart spectacularly, to at the same time we're walking those steps of dealing with whatever's in front of us to remind ourselves constantly of the truth is that wholeness is at the core of us. It's not necessarily something anyone taught us. Your parents, my parents, our caregivers may not have realized this truth, may not have been able to weather their own storms well enough to teach us the truth of who we are. But here's the deal. We're adults now, most of us in the room. We have our own minds. And we have the ability to stop ourselves in our tracks when we're beginning to go down a pathway of believing that we're irretrievably broken, to remind ourselves, I'm not broken. I'm going through a storm. The truth of me is that the wholeness that is God in me and as me is always intact, just as much as our beautiful sun is always intact. I may not be able to see it. I may not even be able to feel its warmth right now, and that's okay. And this teaching sometimes can make us feel as though something is wrong with us because we can't always be happy, happy. Some people call our church the happy, happy, joy church. We think that we're only using this religious science stuff right if we're happy, happy, joyful all the time. So let me not show anybody that I'm challenged or I'm having brokenness or I'm hurt or I'm grieving or I'm experiencing loss or I'm brokenheartedness, because we think that's the true north of our teaching, and it's not. It's simply not. The true north of our teaching is we stand with each other through all of the experiences of life, and we love each other through them, and we call each other forth. And all the while, whether it's for ourselves or people in our community or beyond, we see the brokenness, we see the things that people go through, we can acknowledge them, we can love them, we can have compassion for them, and at the same time, we always choose to see at the core of every being their inherent wholeness and divinity. That's what we see, that perfection as the truth of them, while understanding as they walk through various journeys and as we walk through various journeys. Ernest Holmes says to us about healing, which is the revealing of wholeness. Healing is not creating a perfect body or a perfect idea. It's revealing the divine idea, which is already perfect. So we think sometimes we mix this together and think, okay, I'm perfect, so I must show everyone that I have a perfect life, and hide the parts of me that are imperfect, and hide the moments that have been challenging for me. But that is not the highest and best truth of who we are, nor is it the way that we shall experience fulfillment and happiness. So my core question to us today, sitting right here, right now, in this energy of wholeness, what would it take for me to give up my perceptions of brokenness today? I ask you to ask that of yourself. What would it take for me to give up my perceptions of brokenness today? Now, this is an important question because we know how this works. If we persist in believing in our brokenness and giving our perceived brokenness more energy, more time, more attention, what do we get more of? More brokenness. It's like we're planting that in the rich soil of our life and saying, I want more of this in my garden, please. Versus the willingness to see with a realistic approach the truth of who we are. So in that regard, I say what we do have to practice, even with all this talk about our wholeness and our perfection, we do have to practice what I call functional growth. I'm not sure if anyone mentioned this to you anywhere along the way, but you're not perfect. Did anybody? Let me be the first then for some people. You will make mistakes. Things will not always go your way. Sometimes things will fall apart spectacularly. Not everyone who's with you now in your life is going to be here forever and ever and ever. Things will change. And so functional growth is the ability to say, I accept this as part of the reality of life. This is what it means to be a human, is that things won't always be perfect. And that's okay, and I'm not the only one who will walk this pathway or have this challenge, and I can accept that, okay, it's not going perfect. Then the next thing we do after that determines the trajectory of our recovery. That next thing is, do I fall into the, Josh mentioned his movies he's talking about. You might recognize this one. Do I fall into the pit of despair? Right? Do I fall into the pit of despair and live there the rest of my life? It didn't work out. Or do I accept? Okay, I don't like it. Do I maybe grieve? Do I go through the motions of feeling my feelings, of sharing my thoughts, of getting support, and then moving on? that's functional growth. But what happens for many of us is that we get caught in the pattern that underneath the energy of what didn't work out, there's that feeling of that happened because I'm not good enough. If I were good enough, that wouldn't have happened. If I were lovable enough, that wouldn't have happened. If I were perfect, that wouldn't have happened. That's the energy that I'm talking about today, that's underneath the reality that all of us will make mistakes and have things not go our way and all of that truth. And if we're wise and we begin to understand this and we begin to say, I'm giving up my perceptions that I'm broken, that I'm damaged goods, that something's wrong with me, and instead embracing, well, I'm normal. Wow, I'm human. I'm normal. I'm like everybody else. And get out of that dramatic place. What we begin to implant in that rich soil of creation for ourselves is an acceptance that can then allow us and inspire us to move on. But in order to do that, we've got to understand that this is how it works. We've got to allow ourselves the acceptance of those challenges that do show up. I was wanting to really focus on those challenges and really lean into, okay, if we accept all this, then what do we do? So over the last week, I started making a list of the experiences that humans have that might lead us to feeling so broken and so challenged. And my list got rather long. It includes things like your parents. My parents. Hi, Mom. Or your family of origin. Anybody here ever have their family of origin make them feel like they were wrong or bad or not normal? Yeah, I don't think I'm the only one in the room, I'm going to guess. Religiosity or religion. And I say religiosity versus religion because I do think at the core of most religions is an intention to help humanity deal with their spirituality, and yet religiosity in any form or fashion, when it becomes fundamentalism and it becomes rigid, that's when humans can get damaged in it. And believe it or not, it can even happen in a tradition like this, when people become fundamentally committed to Ernest Holmes. If he didn't say it, it's not so, right? Religiosity. As much as I love and believe in teachers and the educational system, the truth is sometimes we've grown up in an educational systems or in a certain school where things were challenging, and we can come to believe because of something a teacher told us that we're stupid or bad or wrong or not going to make it in life because we believe somebody. Oh, our peers. When we were kids, sometimes our peers were ruthless in their assessment of who we are and how we looked and what we should do and were we cool or were we not cool. Maybe some of your peers right now are the same way, telling you how to live your life and what's good and what's bad, and we get caught up in believing if I'm not getting the approval of my peers, then something must be wrong with me. Romantic heartbreak and rejection. Romantic heartbreak and rejection, boy, that can set us off and put us into a path of pain and suffering. Grief through the loss of dreams or through the loss of loved ones who step off this earthly plane. See, it's a long list, right? Illness, betrayal. One day I was in a brainstorming mood. Stupid, mean people. Oh, and tequila. I think I put that one down the day I saw a sign this last week that was on a bar and it said, "Sure, you can dance. Love tequila." So I added it to the list. Work or career challenges. The media and its constant telling us what we should look like and how we should behave and what underarm deodorant we should be using or whatever. Our chemistry, speaking of underarm deodorant, our chemistry. Some people think because our chemistry is different or we're neurodiverse in some way that we must be irretrievably broken or wrong or bad. Addictions. And just not living up to standards in certain ways. I could add so much more to the list. You could add so much more to the list. Right now, I'm inviting us to get really clear if any of these things or something else is at the core of what it is that we believe makes us broken. And to be aware of it, because the two things that I think are undergirding all this that I want to talk about today, the first one is what we call projection or perception. So what happens to us, and of course Carl Jung was one of the first experts to talk to humanity about this game of projection, is that we develop perception of ourselves through our relationships when we're young, and we start drawing conclusions about ourselves, and we often have one or two that sort of run the show, that we're comparing ourselves always to what makes us wrong or bad or not good enough. And almost every human being has one or two projections that they kind of go back to habitually. And when they go back to those habitually, the way that the brain works through the reticular formatory system of our brain, which is designed to show us what we expect to believe versus what is so, is that when we believe we're not good enough or not lovable enough, someone could stand right in front of us and smile the biggest smile at us and say, "I'm so glad you're here." And because of that projection game, you're thinking, they're not really glad I'm here. They think I'm an idiot. Because our brain, our projection, our pattern is anchoring itself onto our relationships. And where it gets really profound and really intense, just fall in love. See, the romantic projection of relationship is that we fall in love, we make a commitment to live our lives together, and then everything is hunky-dory. But the truth of that, the truth of our family relationships, our romantic relationships, our closest friends and confidants, is that the system, the energetic system, is designed to poke your projection and have you see it. So you go, oh, I know they love me, but why am I always letting myself feel so criticized by them? All they have to do is give me that look and I get defensive and I get caught up in my stuff. Paying attention to those projections is vital. When I realized this, I saw my own game afoot. I call these core stories, the core stories we have about ourselves that we often get very early in life that we take on. My core story, because I was set up in a way with one of my parents especially to believe that I had to be the way he wanted me to be, is that my core story was a story of rejection. I can't be who I am. So I lived my life pretending I was someone else for many years. I lived my life feeling rejected all the time, planting that in the soil of my life, and then experiencing my life as I got older in a way that I was rejected over and over and over again in ways that were meaningful to my little heart, that broke my heart over and over again, so I could walk away from those moments and go, see, I can't be who I am. It's not okay. I just can't be who I am. So the good news is I got to be right, but what a horrible thing to be right about. And that's what I'm suggesting to us today, that we get to be right in our projection game, but do you really want to be? Do you want to keep believing that people don't really love you or care about you or want to do the best for you and with you? Do you want to continue to believe that you are broken and unable to have the life you want to live? And if so, then bless you, keep on the same path. But if not, we have to give up at some point the belief that we're broken and take on the belief that we're humanly imperfect. And take on the belief that our relationships and all of our experience with our fellow human beings are an invitation for us to see ourselves through the projections that we lob onto each other and see how we're perceiving ourselves by the way we think they're thinking about us. And then heal that. What it took for me to heal that was a lot of work with my practitioner. I'll call out Sadie Turtelot. Some of you probably remember Sadie was my practitioner. And Sadie helped me so much to see the truth about myself as a young adult, to walk through times of therapy, times of workshops and classes here at Mile High Church, all of them with the intention, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to heal. I'm going to let this go so I can lead a life of joy and be more in that sun of who I am. And then what I also had to come in contact with, I had to have new perceptions about myself, and I had to give up something very important that Brené Brown is an expert on, shame. I had to give up shame. I had to just give it up like it was an addiction. I had to stop shaming myself and stop shaming other people. Because the other thing we do with our projections is that we not only project that stuff onto us, we project it onto other people in our lives. Oh, see, they're not good enough. They're not perfect either. Oh, look, they failed. Ha, 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 ha. That kind of energy so we can feel better about ourselves. And when we stop doing that and perceive that everyone is doing the best that they can, and I'm going to give everyone compassion and love. I'm going to have boundaries. I'm going to point out if something doesn't feel right or look right. I'm going to talk to the people in my life when things don't feel right so we can work through it. And I'm going to stop shaming people. I'm going to stop using shame. You should be ashamed of yourself for the way you treated me or talked to me. And I'm going to stop shaming myself. Shame is another addiction that is born out of that make wrong, broken energy. Brené Brown says if we're going to find our way back to each other, we have to understand and know empathy, because empathy is the antidote to shame. So shame versus empathy. The minute we begin to have empathy for ourselves, and that's a huge part of what my practitioner taught me, to have empathy for my parents who could in no way, shape, or form ever be perfect. Neither could yours. Impossible. In fact, the dysfunctionality of the system is somewhat part of the human experience, and we all get to dance with it and deal with it. And when I began to learn that and forgive and let go and stop shaming them for the choices they made, I began to return myself to myself and stop being so caught up in the stuff from the past that no longer served me, that had nothing to do with who I am. I'm a human being who's walked through experiences and relationships, but at the core, I'm a spiritual being born and living from the wholeness of God as me, and that's the truth of each one of us. This is who and what we are. And when we own that and claim that for ourselves, we step into what I call wholeness as the deepest identity of who we are. See, I'd rather have and live from this place where wholeness is my deepest identity, not good enough, not lovable, not smart enough, whatever those beliefs are. I'd rather have this design, this energy, this awareness of my wholeness at the core of me, while understanding that a whole and perfect being will go through the ups and downs of life. Because as that identity takes root in me and as me, guess what? It draws me into experiences where I get more and more of that reflected back to me, where my relationships reflect that back to me, where my work, my creativity, the things that I do get reflected back to me in this powerful way. And when this happens to us, here's what I suggest shows up in our lives. We look at another person and we're able to see beyond the surface of what appears to be. We look in the mirror at ourselves and we're able to see below the surface of what appears to be, to see that wholeness. We look at the world and we see the spiritual reality beneath the appearances. We respond to each other rather than constantly reacting to each other. We choose compassion for ourselves and others over judgment because we see and sense and call forth that inherent wholeness in ourselves and each other. We speak words that uplift and unify, refusing to speak words of negativity about another person. It's one thing to say, well, Michelle is not really good at blah, 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 blah. Versus Michelle is horrible at that, and I can't believe her, she's horrible at that. So that's, again, functional growth that can point to something that someone's good at and point to something that someone isn't as skilled at without judgment. There's a neutrality to it. We live from the center rather than the edges. The edges are good, bad, right, wrong. Want it, don't want it. We live in the center where we recognize that everything and everyone is born of the light and born of the divine presence. And when we can do this, this is part of ushering in peaceful living within our own skin and peaceful living on this planet. That's what I'm inviting us into this week. Inviting us into a conversation with ourselves about our willingness to surrender up those belief systems, those patterns, those habits of mind that continue to call us to a belief of brokenness, and instead hold ourselves in the light of wholeness, understanding that we've had things not always go perfectly in human experience. There's a balance in that. There's a love in that. There's a light in that. And as we prepare to step into prayer together, which is a powerful way to return to our wholeness, I, number one, invite our practitioner prayer partners to join me. After service, you can come down front here and experience prayer time with any one of them. And I invite us, as we go into this prayerful time, to say this affirmation together. So I invite you to say after me, I am whole even here. I am whole even now. I am whole even in this. Whatever this may be. And so we breathe in and just feel and sense this light and this love that is the truth of us now. This wholeness that is like the sun shining brightly and brilliantly through all of creation, through every being everywhere. This wholeness that seeks expression and recognition by each one of us. And today we choose to see it. We choose to see it beyond any conditions of our lives, beyond any way that it may have been obfuscated up until now. We see into the true nature of life itself and feel and sense the power, the centeredness, the peace and the light that is available to us in this ideal of wholeness that is our very essence. And as we begin with that, then as we go forth into our lives to meet the challenges of our day, to be in the relationships we are in, we recognize, we honor and sense that underneath and undergirding everything we do and experience is this beautiful, whole, perfect essence, this power and force that is ours to tap into, to claim for ourselves, to have as the foundational aspect of our living as we meet our challenges. And recognizing that as we do, and affirming that as we do this, that we move more effortlessly, more joyfully, oh, so much more peacefully through the challenges of our day. I affirm and accept wholeness for each person within the sound of my voice, accepting and declaring that we go forth with this reality of our being fully intact, living out our life this next week through the lens of this truth. Seeing this as the truth of us, reminding ourselves of the truth of this through every step. I'm so grateful, for I accept and affirm that as I affirm this, it is made manifest in each one of our lives and hearts. As I affirm and accept this, it is so. So in confidence and faith, I simply release this prayer now into the law and let it be. Letting it go in faith and trust. Oh, it is done. We are made in the image of love. And so it is. Amen.
We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. Here and now, I can see we were made beautifully. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. Love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Oh, love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. Oh, love, love, flow like water. Love, love, move in me. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love. We were made in the image. We were made in the image of love.
Thank you, Jesse. Beautiful. Moving into that time where we share our good through tithes and offerings, we thank you for the ways that you circulate your good today, whether you text to give or you give into our baskets or you go online or go out to the counters. We're so blessed. And today I'm inviting us to really embody this opportunity for greater abundance. And so Jesse's going to sing kind of a fun, upbeat song. And I'm going to invite you to move your body. If you want to stand up, you can. If you want to stay seated, just move around. Don't just sit there. Embrace it through a little bit of movement at least and allow that truth to be embodied. And let's say our affirmation together as we embody it even more. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
We can get a good sway going. What? Okay.
I've been dragging my feet again. Can't seem to get my mind on the right track. It's been a couple of months now, and I keep hoping I'll get that high back. Why do I wake up to the sun and see only dark? Ooh, child, let it slide. There's a little piece of heaven right before your eyes. Ooh, child, give it up. 'Cause if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. it might be worse than you expected it would be. But child, look around, there's no one here now. You are your only enemy. Yeah. Oh, child, let it slide. There's a little piece of heaven right before your eyes. Child, give it up. 'Cause if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. Oh, if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. Oh, if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. If you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much in this life. Thank you.
Jesse Powers, thank you for bringing your light and your love and your energy and your musical gifts this morning. You too can greet Jessie out at her table in the lobby today and take home some of her products. I encourage you to go out there and give her a hug. And if you are here at Mile High Church for the very first time today, I just want you to know that we truly welcome you and we want to greet and meet you. So please come out to the Welcome Center in the lobby so that we can shake your hand and welcome you into our community here at Mile High Church. What do we have today, Michelle?
Well, I'm not going to talk about things today, actually. It's next week.
Next week.
Next week.
What do we got next week?
Next week, we got new members class.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking forward to that. If you have been considering becoming a member, if you feel like Mile High Church is your spiritual home, or you're just interested in finding out more before you decide about becoming a member, we'll be hosting a class next Sunday, right after the 10 o'clock service, and you're all welcome to come to that. In addition, we do have an online version that you can take on your own time throughout this week so that we can celebrate all new members on March 15th here at Mile High Church. So we're looking forward to that. And then, believe it or not, it's time for summer camp registration. Yay! Our summer camps are so popular, they sell out. So if you have a little kiddo in your life, whether it's your kid or your grandkid or your niece, nephew, or some child that you want to bless with our summer camps, summer camp registration's open. We hope you'll get them registered. It's going to be a blast. And now if you'll stand for the benediction and peace song, that would be great. Please say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. I am whole, perfect, and complete. Thank you, life. And so it is.